Okay, thank you for your opening argument. I will now give the defense chance for their opening argument. Okay, you have 1 minute, Steeper Quill. Speak when you're
Alright.
ready.
Hello? Just double checking the court can hear me, correct?
Yes, we can hear you.
Alright. So, it was a lovely day, and I did proceed through another portal of unknown origin with a person that I did not recognize to simply look at what was happening. It is true that I did indeed end up on their land. However, with three men rushing towards me, I did not feel secure in the idea to type in chat because I feared they would just stab me to death. I could not VC because at the time I did not know how to uh, move from each screen without being disconnected from the server, and also uh, my phone was on silent. So yeah, so I did return later, however, and I believe this is where the majority of the trespassing allegations truly come from.
Okay,
And
okay.
I would.
I thank you for your opening argument. You'll get a chance to speak more later. Um, that was your 1 minute. Okay, now, uh, defense. Is there any witnesses you'd like to call to the stand?
I would like to call John as he was there as one of my teammates at the time, since Yuta is absent.
So Simon 367 67, please come up right here. And please do not hold your weapon out. Okay. You now have 2 minutes to question your witness, and you may start.
Go.
Defense. Defense. Adrian, bitch ass.
Okay, my bad, bruh. Okay, it's my bad, bro. Okay, I was curious why, first of all, you came to our land second time without announcing anything.
You're questioning your witness.
Yeah,
You have like a minute
okay.
30-second left, dude. Come on.
Okay, bro. I'm wondering why, first of all, you came onto our land a second time without saying anything.
Dude.
I'm
Dude.
sorry, bro. This is my first time, bro.
Ask me questions about what happened.
Okay, bro. Okay.
Because
John, I was wondering why your immediate resort was to commit violence with a mace.
Well, one, we were thinking it was very funny at the time, and another thing is that we were just chilling there, and then we see a name tag appear, and then they're running around while we're underground. So naturally, our first resort is, what do we do? Let's just stick to violence, because anything's peacefully probably would have been an option had he announced he was coming over there. He went there unannounced.
Yeah, I can understand that the first time. Or, like, yeah, that's fair. That's kind of it.
okay, do you have another witness you'd like called to the stand?
I would like to call Chewy, as he was in VC with Steeper Quill at the time of arrival.
Oh, okay. Chewy, please get up there. Okay, and is Adrian? You have 2 minutes.
First question is, how many times did you tell Steeper Quill to just leave our area?
I didn't explicitly tell him to leave. I just continued saying if he kept going back there, he was gonna end up dying, and his loot was gonna end up getting burned over and over again. But I never explicitly told him to not go there.
Okay. And you also mentioned a few days ago that you did kind of help him antagonize a bit.
I'll admit I did instigate a little bit when it came to getting on your land. Not like necessarily him going there, but some of the messages he would send inside of the actual text, not actually him, not his actions, just his words. That was it.
Okay. And is there anything specific that Amos said while he was over there?
Nothing that I can recall. He just explicitly wanted to. I don't really know exactly what he said. He kind of just ended up being there, and then everything else happened then. like everything else went down with the animals and all that, which I don't even think you have gotten into yet.
Okay, and that will be it.
Okay. Any other person you'd like to question?
Um, yeah.
Okay. Who?
Amos.
Okay, Steve Quill, please come up to the right.
Case. All right, server mute me again, bitch.
Okay, so you're getting server muted, bitch. Okay. You have 2 minutes to question your. Wait, Steve Quill, please speak just to make sure you're working.
Yup.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Zajin, you have 2 minutes.
I'm just curious on why you were on our land the second time without announcing anything about coming over.
The second time was simply to go through the portal and then proceed to leave. I was, because I wanted to explore the area, I recently visited Section D prior to this, and then also my own home territory. So I was kind of getting the lay of the land of everything. Uh, I went through the portal to run off, and I was trying to sneak because I knew for a fact that you guys would try to stab me if I didn't. And that's when I locked eyes with one of your people and proceeded to got chased down for a second time. So, yeah.
Okay. You could have announced the second time that you were coming by, though, because we kept your loot for you. We didn't burn it. We kept it in a barrel wherever you died at.
I honestly was not expecting that, so I was just like, yeah, just gonna go. So
And another thing is, why were you trolling on our land? You literally placed a piece of wheat and said, "Hold up, let me wait for this piece of wheat to grow."
I had no food. I legitimately did need that piece of wheat.
And we gave you food.
Yes.
And then you proceeded to tame 5 animals on our land and then beg for a saddle, which we only had one that wasn't ours.
Yeah. I do have a fondness for animals. That is a small trouble with me.
And then you spent 3 minutes trying to get a rabbit and a sheep through a portal.
To be fair, it is really hard to get animals through a portal. You saw it. I legitimately was trying. I shit you not. I was.
Thank you for your testimony, defendant. You may now go back to your stand.
Gotcha.
Okay, now, prosecutor, you're getting muted. Okay, defense, since you have no witnesses, you may call yourself to the stand. Please come up to the left side here. And you have 2 minutes for your testimony. Please begin.
Okay. So, do you want me to begin from like the very beginning?
You may continue off of your opening statement if you wish.
Okay. So, the second time I went there, I went to quickly go through the portal and leave. I was not planning on retrieving any loot because honestly, I did not care that much about it. Proceeded to lock eyes with one of their people, get chased down. They do say that I struck first. That is a lie, however, because I do recall being hit by a mace. It did very little damage because they did not jump at me yet, but it still did damage. Then I did proceed to run towards the side of a cliff where they jumped down, hit me, and took half of my health. I then took out my sword to try and hit them away and discourage them from attacking me, and they killed me. I came back a third time to go collect the loot, because that loot I did care about, because, well, I was starting to run out of loot. And that's when I also found a wandering trader to kill for leads. I got the leads. I found a few donkeys I wanted to tame, and they killed each one of them when I tried to tame them, and asked for a saddle to bring back. I eventually settled and tried capturing a rabbit. They killed the rabbit. I tried taking a sheep. They killed the sheep. I tried taking another rabbit and got through the portal, and it died later. That's not important. And yeah, that's about all that happened. Oh
Okay.
yes, and I did repeatedly ask for a saddle and did indeed plant a wheat plant. They did give me food, however. I will accept that kindness.
Okay. Thank you for your testimony. Let's go back to your stand.
Gotcha.
Okay. Additionally, I'll mute both y'all. A piece of evidence was entered into the court. It's an agreement signed by Chewy. Is this evidence relevant to either of your cases?
No, it is
In
not.
a
I
secondary
gave it to
case,
you
yes.
in a
In a
secondary
secondary
case.
case, yes.
In this one specifically,
Okay.
no.
Then
So
it'll be
upon
shelved for later.
okay.
Okay.
So
Uh,
is that like a different trial thing or?
Probably. If you guys say it is not relevant to this case, then that'll be for a separate case. But currently we are on the
I'd say
case
that it
of...
is relevant to this case, Your Honor.
Okay, then would you like to read the evidence to the court and argue as to why it is relevant to your argument?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
Go to a stand and you have 1 minute 30.
Got you. Okay. So this
And
agreement
begin.
reads, I, Chewy, give permission as leader of D Precoordinate, can't pronounce that, my group, to murder Amos, aka Steve Quill, on site. Signed Chewy, full name. His full name. So,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to argue that I had no say within this book whatsoever. This was signed while I was offline, and it was expected of me to read it on a lectern when I logged back in. I, however, did not read the lectern, and I ran to a different area to do trial chambers with them. They killed me on site, and supposedly the reason is because of this agreement, because I supposedly trespassed, and it was not tried at court yet.
Okay, so this agreement happened before the occurrences of which this trial is about. After, sorry. This happened after
Yes.
the trespassing occurred?
I would like to argue that it is a direct, it happened directly because of these actions that led to court, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. I'll have the evidence back. Would the defense like to make a statement on this evidence or no?
Prosecutor?
Yeah, sorry, prosecution.
I would like to mention that agreement was created after both accounts of trespassing, so I would argue that it is not relevant to this court.
Okay. By the judge's discretion, I do rule this relevant as it was, as it can be used as an example of the sentiment and behavior of the prosecuting group. Okay. Looking at the facts of this case, it is very clear that the first act of trespassing, um, act of trespassing that transpired was in a non-malignant way, and the defendant was unjustly not given the chance to diplomatically settle the situation. However, on the second account of trespassing, the defendant was could have warned the prosecuting faction about their intention to go on their land and did no action to do so. And for that, I will be clearing the first charge of trespassing, but I will be finding the defendant guilty of the second act of trespassing, and the defendant will be fined 16 diamonds to be paid to Firegas, and will be barred from the lands of um, will be barred from the lands of Obsidian Order for the next week. However, due to the unjust treatment of the unknown trespasser in his first trespassing, the faction Obsidian Order must must relinquish the agreement that was presented in evidence and must ensure peace with the defendant, which entails no murdering, even unless trespassing occurs with no justification. So, in this agreement that killing is justified, that you're allowed to just kill him whenever, this will be void, and you are not allowed to kill him for the next week, and he's not allowed to step on your land for the next week. If he trespasses without warning, or and you do give him a chance to explain himself, and he does not, you may kill him. However, without diplomacy, you may not kill the person. Is that ruling understood by everyone?
I understand, Your Honor.
Yep.
Okay. Those 16 diamonds are to be paid at the latest by the end of the 1 week period, and the person and if there's a violation of the peace or trespassing that I didn't explain under the previous terms, our executioner Simon 36767 will take the life of the offending party. Is that understood?
Your Honor. I'll be right back. I have to do something.
Okay. So, defense, you understand if you just kill the man out of nowhere, Simon will have to brutally murder you with a mace. And you understand that if he comes onto your land with no warning and then later does not explain himself, Simon is allowed to kill him with a mace.
Mm-hmm. I understand, Your
Okay.
Honor.
And you understand that if he does not pay his diamonds within the next 16, he does not pay the 16 diamonds within the next week, Simon will also be allowed to kill him
I
for
understand.
those diamonds as a separate charge. Okay. You understand the terms, Simon? Do you understand the terms? Wait, let me unmute our there you go. Okay. Simon 36767. Do you understand your job in enforcing this ruling?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then anyone got a flint and steel by chance?
Sorry, I had to go check on the dogs. Alright, I'm back.
I have one in my chest, in the double chest.
Okay, perfect. I'll be using
I
that.
would
Okay.
not recommend doing it in here because bedrock condition is very weird with fire, and it will. Okay, there you go. Actually, that works.
And the book is burned. Oh,
You
shit.
missed.
Whoa,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know we had books
I'm right
burning here. Whoa.
There you go.
I told you fire on bedrock condition is weird.
Okay, so let me just Steve Brooker, let me just update you on the things I told the prosecutor. If the terms of this agreement are violated, our executioner Simon will kill the offender. So if you trespass without warning or explanation, you will be killed by Simon. If fire gas or anyone of the obscene order kills you with no justification, they will be killed by Simon. And if you do not pay 16 diamonds by the end of 7 days, you will also be killed.
Got
Is
you.
that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that concludes court. Get out of here,
Hey,
bitches. Collect your stuff.
Adrian, can I borrow 16 diamonds?
No.
By
Bro,
the way,
look, I'm poor.
you forgot the part of him offering the 6 golden carrots he gave you back to you to like you forgot
I
about
did.
that bit.
No, okay. Another thing is, he literally said that bro, okay, there was a part that was like a major flaw because he literally just told me when I was questioning him, and then he says the complete opposite when he's giving his statement.
Should have made an objection, bro.
No, it's all
Okay.
good, bro.
Okay. Oh,
I just found it funny.
if you guys agree on a different form of payment other than 16 diamonds, that is also acceptable by the court if it's acceptable by both parties.
One netherite ingot.
Realistically,
7
you
gold
probably
ingots.
should've- realistically, you probably should have kept the book because you're talking about it being in a different trial. But if it's burned, it's burned.
The agreement's void and it's burned, so
It can't be used anymore. By the way, so.
yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously it's gone. And any
Oh my
copies.
God,
I
what is-
already told. I think I already told Dylan this yesterday. Like any copies of any books will not be valid at all.
I was
And you can
supposed
see if it's a copy.
to
So
burn the book, dude, and then he burns it.
Well, see, I'm trying to minimize the number of trials, so we're just gonna consolidate here and everything got into this one trial. Okay, wait, 16 diamonds.
So, how about, hear me out, give me a second.
How about I give you 1 diamond? How about
26
that?
26 gold ingots, 8 emeralds, and a diamond.
Bro, he is looking at his fucking.
How about a
life
netherite
life
ingot?
warranty right now.
This I shit you not.
Netherite ingots.
How about 26 gold ingots, 2 golden apples,
one
5
netherite ingot.
apples,
One
a
netherite
bundle.
ingot. We should probably move out the
5
courtroom.
Diamond, it's going to stay diamonds.
We should probably move out the courtroom.
Did you what?
And we should probably move out the courtroom, VC.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
You guys can go back to the lobby.
Bro, what happened, bro? Why'd you move the gaming VC? No, it looks weird.
Where's the gaming VC? No.
It's below
Oh, wait.
Obsidian Order and Alliance.
Yeah,
Why?
I fixed it.
I was trying to put cord up.
You didn't fix it. You did not fix it. Bro, you moved all the channels. Okay, Alliance 2 is supposed to be under Alliance 1. Gaming is supposed to be above Alliance 1. And
I
then
get to
boom.
keep the totem.
I
Oh,
guess.
please return. Oh, okay, never mind. You
I
keep
don't know. Dude,
Oh,
I just,
yeah,
bro, I just,
okay.
I have like 25 bottles of Ominous.
You need to
Alright,
get
then-
Totems are like my
then-
last worry.
Then I'll figure out how to pay the
I don't know how to
diamonds.